would you say if I said that I could bring them back?
I guess I'd say I never thought of that.
Well, alright, hold tight, you might want to stand back because one small John is coming intact.
St. John forward, spitting out some more words, fully intact, jacked, ready to rap and attack. Small John on your lawn, living like a gnome, hit you with my lyrics like a bullet to your dome.
Tonight when he comes up here, he's either gonna kill or he's gonna suck. But there's no in between for Mr. John Forward.
Oh, well, I didn't know any of that.
Well, that's what I've been trying to say the whole time.
Mr. John Forward on St. John Forward Radio. It's Monday night at 9 o'clock. Live on local 107.3 FM. Here for part 2 of Dating Around with Arif Hussain.
The thrilling conclusion, the season finale.
I'm skipping the monologue again.
Daenerys Targaryen finally makes love to those two dragons.
Yeah, this is the and it's no joke. We're getting into it. 2 weeks ago we had part 1, and I skipped over the monologue thinking we weren't going to have. I got to get my clips queued up. I forgot about that.
I forgot Daenerys. She's actually the mother of dragons, so then she can't actually be making love to the dragons because that would mean some form of incest. You're not a Game of Thrones person.
And bestiality. I watched the first 4 episodes of Game of Thrones and did not care.
I would think that you would be exactly the kind of person that it would sort of appeal to.
I'm not into
high melodrama,
swords and sandals type fantasy stuff.
No, what kind of fantasy are you into?
I like more
strap-ons, a ball gag, that sort of.
Well, definitely that, but I prefer more, I guess, like a Guillermo del Toro kind of fantasy, more like monsters and like mythic creatures and things
all
like
of that.
Yeah, but not in a kind of British accents and swords and stuff.
So you have a problem with British people?
Yeah.
Not in 2019.
Even
Brexit is what you tell them.
Even like Lord of the Rings is not really. I like it well enough, but I don't know.
Too long, man.
Yeah, well, I still haven't watched the Hobbit trilogy. There's too much.
He wrote that about his experiences in World War I. J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's racial undertones with the orcs. Okay. The black hordes, the black orcs that they come in. Yeah,
I can see that.
They were supposed to be the Prussian army, I think. Yeah. Him and Wilfred Owen were in Wilfred Owen and T.S. Eliot. They were all. Not that you care, but yeah,
no,
they were all authors. Well, two of them were one of them was an author, and two of them were poets.
Yeah, are you big into Game of Thrones?
There was a period. I don't know whether I was big into. I don't know. I feel as though people watch these things as though they feel as though they want to be part of some sort of conversation that they might eventually have about the shows. But eventually, the conversation that revolves around Game of Thrones are usually fairly banal. What is Jon? Why look at Jon Snow? Did you watch the dragon turn the ice thing? The dragon turned zombie. So to answer your question, yes, but almost begrudgingly.
Are those conversations still happening?
100% never had any of them. All I use Game of Thrones now, honestly, is to find a reference to do crowd work on. Yeah. Literally, that's because it's an easy way to get a laugh. Immediately, as soon as you make a small, tiny Game of Thrones reference during a season, people know what it is. I barely know anything about Riverdale or some other dumb show. I barely watch Netflix because quite frankly, John, as I've always told you, I'm above all of these petty concerns.
Sure. But even if you're not in them, are people still having the water cooler talks about shows?
I imagine so, man. I have a coworker who watches like a constant stream. He has 3 screens, and one of those screens is just constant sort of videos of. Well, he has one Twitch stream going on, then another just a YouTube playlist of scenes from Game of Thrones
I know
episodes.
people are still consuming stuff, but I haven't worked in a big office in a couple of years, and I remember there was a time like Walking Dead. I've still watch it, even though it's not great. It's gotten a little bit better this season, but I mostly needed to make sure I watched it as soon as possible, just because of stupid idiots feeling compelled to just... Their version of having an intellectual conversation about the art that they enjoy is screaming out spoilers. Oh my god, did you see that Glenn died? And I have to turn around and just glare like, that was on last night. I PVR'd it. Like, can you chill out? And just, people just want to caps lock, just type out the big thing or the person that died last night on a show on Facebook. Like, that's... And then they get all like, oh, well, it's not my fault if you don't watch it when it's on. Like, what? I don't know what they get out of, like, just blurting something out in an office or on Facebook.
It's the release, man. That's all it is. It's to dull the dreariness. That's all it is. It's to break through the monotony. That's all that does.
But I think it's been a while since I've had anything spoiled, though. I don't know if it's just that Walking Dead has gotten less good, so I don't care about anything that happens in it. But I feel like there's so many shows that not everybody's as much on the same schedule as far as watching stuff now, especially like Netflix stuff.
No, I think all of this stuff, people watch things and sort of input and consume content as a pacifier rather than an engagement.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of that as well. I feel as though I'm guilty of that. So I sort of genuinely try to take a step back from just, inserting things into my head. Like, I watch this Netflix show after Netflix show. Because those algorithms are designed to just keep you watching and just keep you dull the whole time. Not to sound like into a Terminator 2 scenario. But
I've got a certain number of shows that I watch like week to week that are on TV that I PVR. Like, I sometimes give it a few days before I watch it. But as far as extra shows on top of what's on TV, I usually have like one Netflix show that I'm kind of working my way through slowly, just when there wasn't anything new on last night that PVR'd. I try to focus on like one show at a time.
I have to say the most interesting conversations I've had with most people about a Netflix show is that Flat Earth documentary. I've had more interesting conversations about that. And I think it managed to capture something very real about a phenomenon, a sort of psychological contagion that perhaps has always existed, but is really visible to everyone now, because we all know someone who at some point started off, and I mean not just you and I as in like comics, but just general people know a person who...
Do general people have Adam Landry's in their lives? I thought we were special.
I'm sure, man. I'm sure we're all... we're all just regular people, and I think so much of time is spent, like that last Sam Harris podcast where he was talking to, I think he was talking to some guy who was working with Mark Zuckerberg. He was
I haven't listened to that one yet.
It was called The Trouble with Facebook, and it's great, because he was talking to, so this guy is now sort of, I guess you would call it a whistleblower or something like that, to so warn everyone about what's going on with Facebook. And one of the things that he commented on was, he said that most of people's social media, we thought that social media was going to be this great thing where people were could communicate with each other and exchange ideas, but what it's actually done is created individual Truman Show equivalents. We've all turned into our own Truman Show. We're all sort of Jim Carrey, for whom an entire world has been created, and that's what these algorithms are doing. And incidentally, within the Flat Earth documentary, there are two modes. There are two competing Flat Earth theories. One of them is that the Earth is flat on both sides, while the other is that actually humans are living in a Truman Show like simulation where the government is controlling the movement of the sun and the moon. And so that's why I think, it's interesting that the flat Earth the phenomena of conspiratorial thinking and social media are so linked together. It's exactly because they both feed into each other. They feed into the idea that that entire world is created before. And in social media, it's quite literally, it's exactly those algorithms are created so that you are given the impression that you have a world that your feed is just made directly for you. Like a Google, like if I looked up something on Google and you did, our search results would differ because the algorithms have completely, they pick your preferences are suited to you and mine are suited to me. So literally we are living as though we were flat earthers, at least on social media. So
well, and the one show that's been algorithmically determined was For Me and You.
Sorry,
is Dating Around on Netflix.
Beautiful.
It's the one that everyone's talking about. Just a quick summary. You should go back and catch up on last week's, but quickly, this is it's a reality show on Netflix. It's 6 episodes. They pick one single person and they set them up on 5 blind dates, and it cuts in between all of the dates, and then at the end they choose one. So 2 weeks ago we went through the first 3 episodes of 6. I originally, when I started watching this, I thought that the 6 episodes were going to be the same person. In each episode was going to be one of the 5 blind dates, and then episode 6 was going to be the final blind date. But it's 6 different people, each going on 5 dates, and it intercuts throughout. So
it's for the purposes of diversity, to show how we are all...
they have to shuffle up. So we had standard, bland, white, straight guy in episode 1. Episode 2, we had some sort of vaguely Middle Eastern straight
She's
lady. Indian? Okay.
She was Punjabi. Born in France.
Very light skinned though, so she didn't turn off too many viewers.
No. She wasn't my dark style of Indian.
She would be
if I go into an Indian,
afraid of Arif.
That's right, yeah. If I go, I'm a dangerous looking kind of Indian. The pockmarks don't help, and the lopsided ears as well are too.
Yeah, and then episode 3, we had an Asian gay man.
Yep.
And I think episode 3, that was definitely my favorite of the first half. I think that one, I didn't like any of the people in the first 2 episodes.
No.
That one, except for the guy with the silly mustache that we made fun of last time quite a bit. I liked most of the people. The main guy, I am not a homosexual, but I would hang out with that guy.
He seems like
they wouldn't make sweet love to him.
They seem like they're having the most fun. Gay man seems to be having the most fun. The fact that he can just be blatantly open about what position and what position he prefers, just aggressively in the first date must be just freeing.
Yeah,
to be able to do that in a. Because that
was a good one. And I was a little disappointed with his choice. I think I was rooting for man bun tech guy in that one, but he ended up going with some bland, like former religious guy. He went for like a Matt Keenan type. He's probably a freak in the sack.
Probably.
But
repressed sexuality.
But episode 4 tells a story that's not often told of an older widower and his 5 dates. So let's take a few seconds to get to know Leonard.
I've known Leonard since 2003. It was wonderful watching Leonard and Susan together. He was such an affectionate husband.
Leonard is a lot of fun. He's a little quirky, but in a good way.
This is definitely not music that Leonard's ever listened to.
Susan will always be a part of his life. LeBaracu on Grand.
Leonard was a pretty cool cat for an older fella.
He's dressed all in black. He looked like a little bit like that guy from the Watchmen. He looked like that actor from the Watchmen. He was the
which one?
The squirrely looking guy. With the
Rorschach, like Jackie Earle Haley.
Jackie Earle Haley. That's guy.
Okay, all right, I can see that. He was a private detective, I think.
I
wasn't
think
he?
so. Yeah, it was very old school. That's a real. That's an old job.
Yeah, he was.
I'm a
he was
private
cool.
detective.
I liked this exchange, which
Pardon me.
showed us how cool he was, because they're talking about drugs. This is a full minute, but anyway, I haven't watched this in like a month. We're getting a little far out, but these clips will bring us back in.
It jogs.
It was like I was born. And it was the 70s, right?
Drugs and rock and roll.
Yeah. It was great.
It was great, right?
I loved it. I've never done a drug. And you?
Oh, yeah. I loved them.
Really?
Yeah, they were great.
And what was the first one you tried?
LSD.
You've taken LSD. Yes? Oh my God. This conversation just took a really interesting turn. I like this.
And sorry, like this is very new to me. Like none of my friends did drugs.
Oh,
I don't
really?
do drugs.
Is that
No,
really?
no. I'm like the goody girl.
Would you do it again? You have any with you? Oh, this is so interesting.
I think they made me a nicer person.
Really? Because I think I'm pretty nice and I didn't do drugs. So I can't imagine what I'd be like if I did them.
Drugs and rock and roll.
Drugs and rock and roll.
Yeah.
You can't really tell just from the audio, but he's having that same conversation with at least 3 of the 5 ladies.
Yeah, he's tried to. I think he's running out of patience with that broad over there.
Yeah, well, that one I've got a clip of her texting with her daughter that's pretty brutal. But that I think this is that segment in particular. I think shows kind of the different. Like, this is feels slightly more real than a network TV reality show. Like, I feel like it being on Netflix, like a regular dating show on like NBC, first off, would not have a bunch of old fogies.
No, it'll just have a bunch of like fake breasts and just a guy with a chiseled abs, and perhaps he's wearing sneakers with no socks on, and bright pastel colored shorts, and a t-shirt that's a little too tight with like maybe a fashionably placed tear in on the side there.
Yeah, like I feel like it's definitely been molded through the editing. Absolutely. They've got a certain narrative that they want to get out of. They're telling a story with the footage that they have. So I'm sure some people come off as better or worse than what actually happened, but I less so than like a network TV reality show. These people don't feel like they're just a bunch of actors.
You mean this segment in particular?
As a whole, but this is a good example of that. And just like as benign as that conversation was, I can't even imagine having a open conversation about how I did LSD back in the day and I think it made me a better person. Like that conversation doesn't happen on TV.
No.
If they had the LSD thing, it would be like a wacky, like I was at Woodstock and I thought that my shoes were my uncle, or just some nonsense.
Groovy, man.
Yeah.
We were just making love out on Bates Farm or whatever it was called. What was it called? Woodstock?
I don't know.
Jackie's Farm?
I don't know.
Maggie's Farm? Maggie's Farm. That's what it was. That's what the Dylan song was about, right? Wasn't it? No.
Well, that's what's in the Dylan song. Well, I know the Rage Against the Machine cover of it more than the Dylan song, but I didn't know that was about Woodstock
or something like that.
But yeah, just that openness. Like I feel like
you couldn't be open to a
when May leaves me and I'm an old lonely man
tomorrow.
Like that's the conversation I'm going to be having with some old lady. Like, yeah, I enjoyed doing LSD, and I think it did make me a better person. And that's just I found it nice.
Waiter, check, please. We're done here.
Yeah, so I found that interesting, and he seemed really genuine. Like he wasn't like they didn't make him out to be like a druggie. He's just a dude. And he did some, man. And it's also not the I've got a troubled past. I used to do drugs.
I mean, and just the subtle implication. Well, I'm a pretty And I always find that just increase. I find the weird passive aggressiveness of the, well, I never did any drugs, but I feel like I'm a pretty good person. I was like, well, he's not trying to tell you. I think the implication automatically is
just the defensiveness of it. That
you asked him about drugs, you asked him about his experience. He told you, and your first thought is, well, clearly this is an attack on my lifestyle.
I feel like that's a good dating tip that Leonard taught us. Like, I should, if I'm ever in a position where I'm dating, I think I should bring up that I've done LSD and gauge the reaction.
First, would that be your first opening?
No, I'm not going to open with it. No. But it's at some point in the conversation. I think that would be worth bringing up just to gauge the reaction. I don't care if they've done it or not, but if they react like that lady and get all weird about it, then
I feel like it might be the kind of drug that also is a little, say, oh well, I did heroin and I felt that it was a valuable time in my life, and all of those times I spent in those dens in the.
Has anybody had a productive heroin experience? I don't know.
I'm sure that they've
put out albums, but
they've I imagine that people would have considered spending time as an addict educational of some in some aspect of themselves. Former addicts could probably tell you a lot about the depths of sort of depravity that people go to. That people will reach towards?
Yeah, I suppose. But I don't know. This seemed interesting. But I liked it. But getting back to, I think it's the same woman that got all weird about and defensive.
Classic.
I
writing was on the wall, I would say.
I cut together a couple of different clips of just this woman. She keeps getting text messages from her daughter throughout the date, and it was super annoying.
I want to fall in love.
You do.
Oh yeah.
You want to fall in love. Oh, my phone.
So.
I wonder who that is. Oh, my daughter wants to know how it's going. Well,
tell her it's going great.
It's going great. Oh, this is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh. Let's see what Maria has to say. Oh.
Good Lord.
Wow. Say hi to him for me. That's very sweet, Maria. Oh, okay.
Now,
yes,
we have had similar situations, you and I, when we are out. In fact, we had one this weekend where you, me, and Brian were sitting at a table, we're having a conversation, and something happened in the midst of it. I had what can only be defined as an outburst.
Yes.
Very unlike.
I think your life feels like it's a series of outbursts.
A series of meltdowns, yes. A series of unfortunate events, yes. That really came out like as though I was part of an improv troupe. But but I had a bit of a boo-boo. I had a bit of an outburst at our good friend Brian that I think about today. I still think about, and I feel like as though
unusual, it was. But I feel like, well, that was maybe a bit of an overreaction. I get where you're coming from, and especially, it's different. Checking a text message is different than idly scrolling through your Facebook. You're right on that, 1,000%. This in particular, though, he's barely finished kind of the thing that you're there on a date, like the setting of this is my goal and this is what I'm looking for in life. And text message, first off, the phone is on and she has her text message sound on in the middle of a date that is on TV, and no pause at all, just cuts this old man off like almost mid-sentence. Oh, I wonder who that is. Like, not even like let him finish his thought and then like, oh, I better check that. It was just kind of immediately, as soon as she heard the chime, it was everything else in the world has ended. I wonder who that is.
And imagine being told that while you're that I have to narrate how this very thing is going to this other person while I'm sitting right in front of your face.
Yeah.
And looking at you. And then I have to narrate my answers. So I'm going to imagine having to sit there and just be like holding.
Yeah. And he's visibly annoyed at this, and even says like, "Yeah, I have a phone, but I don't bring it with me on a date."
Yeah.
And who is this daughter that first you send the text message, which I think women do that anyway, just send me a text in case like this is going wrong and he gives me an out. But to get the text in the middle of dinner and then respond back, everything's going great, and then sending another follow-up, "Hey, tell him I said hi" text, like, shut up and let your mother get some. Come
honestly, man. She's trying to get her wet, you know?
Yeah. So she was annoying. Not quite annoying as the lady that sounds like Woody Allen doing a Christopher Walken impression.
You were really late tonight, you know?
Excuse me, I am never late. This is late for me to have dinner, you know. I eat like 6:30. I'm kind of boring sometimes because I like to take my teeth out by 8 o'clock. You know how it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh!
Yeah, she was. Here's another clip of her.
He actually had in his last house a sofa sitting on the lawn. I was like, no.
No, that wouldn't be for you.
No, because I got class with a K, baby.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I got class with the K.
Is she in the Ku Klux Klan?
I don't know what you're talking about, baby.
Yeah, she was horrible. One of the other ladies, she was a
sort of Cruella de Vil looking kind of lady, but honestly, you know, that's the kind of broad that if I was at his age, that is the kind of broad that I would the
one that I liked the most personality-wise looked the most like an old lady, which was a problem, but she was fun.
She was definitely the best one.
Here's a clip of we don't know any of these people's names. Who cares?
No.
There's really beautiful buildings, like with elevators. For 43 years, I've walked 60 steps up and 60 steps down.
Yeah, I've got an elevator, so I'm
you pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old lady called the old man a pussy.
That's awesome. That's pretty
great.
Cool.
Let's just move this along. Do you remember the frog joke?
Oh, I do. But I honestly...
This old man, he tried to... This is like 2 minutes long because he tried to tell the frog joke to like everybody on his date, and it bombed every time, but he just loved it so much, and I felt for him. Let's hear the frog joke.
So, have you heard any good jokes lately?
I am not wait. Let's see if I can remember it. So this professor, the Swedish professor, is teaching a biology class. So he's got a frog, and he cuts off a leg of the frog, and he says, "Yum, froggy, yum." And so the frog jumps, he's got 3 legs, just jumps, no problem. So the professor cuts off another leg, and he says, "Yum, froggy, yum." And frog jumps, a little, it's a little harder.
Oh, gosh.
Then he cuts off a 3rd leg, and he says, "Yum, froggy, yum." And struggles, but frog jumps a little bit more. And then he comes off the last leg, and he goes, "Yum, froggy, yum." And the frog can't jump, and he says, "See, frog with no legs is deaf."
So will you memorize this joke and not ever tell the frog joke again?
Okay, I'm ready.
So, what do a walrus and a Tupperware sales lady have in common?
A walrus and a Tupperware walrus? I don't know.
They're both looking for a tight seal.
Walrus is looking for a tight seal. I don't know.
And a Tupperware sales lady.
That, I get that.
Yeah.
But why is the walrus
looking for a tight seal?
Oh, tight seal! Oh, great! Oh.
1 second. Is the joke that the walrus wants to have sex with the seal?
I think that's the joke.
Are walruses known to rape seals? Because I can't imagine this is interspecies.
I enjoy the joke coming out of the sassy old lady.
I love
regardless.
it. I love it. I love the brutal image of a fat walrus
and
just
I like that her
molesting
setup
a
for
tiny
her
seal.
joke, and this is hours later, is never say the frog joke again. Here's a better one.
Here's a better one that just implies interspecies sexual assault.
Yeah,
this is good.
There's
I
another
like this, bro.
24 seconds. I don't remember what else is on this clip, but let's ride it out.
Yeah.
To the frog.
And, oh, you may never tell that.
Oh, he's trying to cheers to the frog long after she's clearly hated his frog joke.
Again.
I'm not okay. If I don't tell the joke again, can we drink to the frog? The poor frog? No. Okay.
How about meeting each other?
Oh, good idea. To us.
Our first date.
Yeah.
On our first date.
Okay.
I love that.
This dude does not know how to do material. Here's the problem with that frog joke. It's too many act outs with not enough payoff.
Yeah.
Yump, froggy, yump. That's not a good enough Swedish impression, dude.
No, it's not.
And you keep saying the same thing, yump, froggy, yump. And it's not really good. And I think he hung on to that. He's hung on to that. That's his.
It's the one that his dead wife really enjoyed.
Yeah. It's his zombie stripper.
And speaking of that, this is another interesting interaction that just, again, I think only exists on this show. Just a long it's just cutting between all of the dates, talking about all of their dead and divorced partners and everything, which is an interesting dating scenario that you don't often get to see.
Yeah, let's just walk through the Arlington cemetery of my relationship.
Widower?
Okay.
You?
Divorced. And I'm sorry to hear that you're a widow.
Yeah.
What did she die of?
Cancer. Ovarian.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Oh, yeah, she was a good one. You really liked her. But there's grief and divorce too.
Different kind of grief.
Different, but yeah.
You see, my husband had a stroke, and for about a little less than 3 years, I was very devoted to all the caregiving.
He died though, right?
He's not alive. I'm not cheating on him at the moment.
No, just checking. You know the way you're talking. I'm just checking.
Well, I'm preparing you for the fact that while he was still alive, I did start to date a particular person, and my husband was jealous, which was a good position to put him in. He needed some of that.
Wait, he had a stroke. Why did he need that?
He finally appreciated me, and I wish I could have known that giving him a little sense of jealousy would have...
Well, here's a guy who's had a stroke. Like he wasn't in like a bad enough place.
It was a good thing that I cheated on my sick husband.
What utter trash.
And
sweet, man.
Again, as my favorite part of each of these episodes is the awkward brush off with the one that they're not interested in. I forget which of the ladies this is. I'm guessing it was Woody Allen. But let's see.
I do think you're lovely. I think you're crazy not to be dating.
This sounds like you're not interested in me because you're giving me advice on how to find a date.
No, well,
this was the text messaging lady.
Yeah, so.
So I'm not your type.
I don't.
What do you mean
I'm not insulted.
No, I know you're not insulted. It's just a feeling. I don't know.
Right.
That's all I can say. It's just a feeling. It's got everything to do with me and not you.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and
it had nothing at all to do with the fact that we spent 10 minutes. You spent 10 minutes text messaging about the actual date while you were on the date right in front of my face.
So our favorite was the sassy old lady that told the seal rape joke.
I mean,
but she was
killer.
She was the least attractive of the bunch.
No, yeah. But honestly,
he ended up he went with the black lady with the short hair, which I guess the issue with I think all of these episodes is the one that they end up going with has the less clippable interactions.
She was the most normal one.
Yeah, she was normal, and they seemed to have a good connection. So
she was a nice, respectable woman. She was not talking about
and she was
not text messaging or hating on a stupid frog joke. She probably even chuckled.
She seemed like a mature, intelligent woman, and
boo, yuck.
And I'd hit that.
Yeah,
She
exactly.
wasn't bad.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's...
Working for a non-profit organization, I think, is what her, just a normal, giving person. Why would any rational human being want that, right?
Right. All right, well, let's make a quick station ID, and then we'll move on to episode 5.
Oh, I think I know which one that is.
Nailed it. Terrifying. Nailed it. Terrifying. Nailed it. Terrifying.
You're listening to 107.3 St. John Ford Radio.
Creepier.
Hi, you're listening to 107.3 St. John Ford Radio.
Nailed it. Terrifying.
Listening to my own voice, you had to pick me doing the radio at the station
It's
ID.
sexy.
Thank you. I don't think that's how it comes off. You made me look slightly less sexy, and I feel like you made me look like a sexual predator, which I am not. I'm a sweet boy.
Yeah. So, episode 5.
It's a weird transition, but
was Sarah. I don't remember this one. Who?
She was, I think...
What was her combination of race and sexuality?
She was the black lesbian woman.
No, I think that was the last one.
Nope.
Are you sure?
Yes. 100%. The last one is the quirky sort of Brooklyn girl who got told something about the...
No. The last one is the lesbian, because the first note that I have is one of the clips is asking her what she identifies as.
Okay, so I don't remember her name then. Okay, so and I messed up the name.
That's Mila.
Mila, okay.
So Sarah, I don't remember.
Sarah is the one who got... they go to that restaurant in Brooklyn, and the guy, she has that weird interaction with one of the firefighters with a firefighter who completely kind of hates her guts for being this sort of quirky lady, and he just walks away, and she says,
no, that was the one about him getting mad because she married the guy she didn't love. We talked about that one last time. This is the one with the strip club guy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
so this is it's in that same episode where there's a firefighter who she's on the date with, and he walks away, and her reaction is not to be...
Oh yeah, I've got a clip called
she's turned on.
Fireman Doesn't Like Her.
Yeah, she's turned on by it. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to know Sarah.
Sarah's my roommate, and she is quite the handful to live with. Sarah is constantly falling for the wrong type of guy, and then thinking that she doesn't deserve better. I would say that most men Sarah has dated are unremarkable, and Sarah needs to find a man who values her.
I've known Sarah for about 2 years. She's this perfect mix of nerdy, but also kind of sexy and cute. She definitely talks a lot. You gotta be a listener.
Okay.
Yeah, so, well, here's the fireman clip that was discussed.
I'm gonna be completely 100 with you.
Yeah.
I feel like we're on very different wavelengths. You're a very sweet person.
Thank you.
You have a lot of charisma. But yeah, best of luck to you, right?
Thank you.
Take care.
Peace.
I must have cut it off. I think she makes a comment about how she's going to go home and masturbate.
Obviously. Yeah, she says it, and she's not... I don't think she's joking about it either.
Yeah, she's kind of a manic pixie dream girl, and that guy was having none of it.
None of it. He had no time for this quirky band talk.
Yeah, but she had some...
out.
Yeah, she's kind of... this one likes to tell jokes, too. This is her setup for a joke that nobody wants to hear.
Do you want to hear a 9-minute joke about Greek mythology? Okay, that's fair.
Not here, not now. Is that what you do? Every time you're in this position, you tell a 9-minute joke? That's fucked up.
That's the setup. You say how long it's a 9-minute joke about Greek mythology, and she tries to tell this joke a bunch of times.
Yeah, and it bombs. I mean, it's a subtle sort of way to tell them tell the other person that I know something about Greek mythology.
Or
which is
are you willing to endure me talking alone for 9 minutes straight about nothing you want to hear about?
Yeah,
it's
never,
kind of a power move.
A setup to it never has it ever worked in normal life to be, you want to hear a joke. And,
a 9 minute joke about anything.
Never.
Like,
a 9 minute story would work if it just came out of the blue.
And 9, like she's timed it out. That's too specific of a number.
Yeah.
Like if she said 10 minute, that would almost be less annoying.
I imagine there's a lot of act outs. There's a lot of names like Tallymarcus or Ariadne. You know,
and there's a part later where she's full on making out with a guy and then pulls away and tries to tell the joke again.
Oh.
Sound effects.
Hi.
Nice.
Hello. Hey. Do you still want to hear that joke about Greek mythology?
If it's 9 minutes long, absolutely not.
Really? It's really funny.
It's 100% not.
Really funny.
100%. She's just trying to. I think at that point she's trying to get out of the whole situation. I feel like as though
No, I think she thinks that she's like. I've also got. She likes puns. There's this.
Good lord.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so they had a summer house 1 block away from.
Shut the front door. What the Franklin Delano? That's crazy.
Yeah, so I like that one. Do you mind if I use that?
What the Franklin Delano?
Good lord, man.
Yeah, but she is
yuck.
Clearly, she's now.
See you next
there was a
Tuesday?
situation. Somebody says something about not tipping, and she loses her mind.
Do you want my jalapenos?
Didn't you order the jalapenos?
No, I asked no jalapenos.
I got you.
Take the jalapenos. Take them.
You know what that means, right?
What does that mean?
No tip. Kidding.
No,
So mad.
never in your adult life.
I know,
do you
I know,
ever
I know,
in your
I know,
life
I know,
ever
I
say
know.
that? That's not cool.
Sarah,
Don't ever say that.
relax.
Yeah. I don't mind you killing black
All right.
people, but just don't make sure you tip.
I'm going to give you a little piece of advice.
Yes. What's up?
And that is
Amazing.
don't ever tell a woman to relax. Ever.
You're right about that.
Because you will elicit
Sweetie,
the
baby,
exact
pussycat,
opposite
smile.
response from her.
I understand. I'm sorry, Sarah.
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down, baby. Why are you getting so upset?
Now, she is not the biggest douchebag in this episode.
No, he is.
That goes to no. This is a different guy.
Oh, this is he.
Let's meet Mr. John.
So, Sarah.
You're John.
Hello, Mr. John.
Hi, Mr. John.
That's what they call me.
Mr. John.
Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
nickname.
Nice. Okay.
What a terrible
tool. What
yeah,
a knock.
I don't have the clip, but when
Already.
she asks him what he does, he starts out by saying that he works in a club that his friend owns, which is red flag number 1, and then he elaborates, it's a strip club that his friend owns. And he attempts some jokes himself that she is not into. This is, here's one early on in the date.
Big salad, of course. And pickled
Like
raw
all your
vegetables.
attention?
Yeah.
You like it big? The salad.
Yeah, he's laughing at his own joke. She's clearly horrified. The salad.
Now that I listen to it and thinking about the look of horror on her face is also doubly, because I'm a bit, yes, obviously Mr. John, who's wearing a t-shirt with jalapeno peppers or like chili peppers, who are tiny little chili peppers on his t-shirt, is obviously the problem in this.
Yeah.
Get toxic, the whole thing.
Yeah,
But
she's making like a Seinfeld joke about the big salad, and he's like, "You like it big, don't you?"
he immediately turns it R.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something great about just two toxic personalities just completely imploding around each other.
A big dick joke meeting, like, again, this is another one of her jokes that I missed. We might as well get out of the way.
Okay.
Stir fry. No, not deep cook.
Cooker? Okay. When you're stressed out, you're a pressure cooker?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I really love puns.
I do
really
so
do.
much. It's terrible.
Yeah, so
it is terrible.
She's got
Stop doing
a different sense of humor than Mr. John. Here's where it really goes off the rails.
So you think I can see you again? What's up?
Oh wait, I
No.
think there's something else in the middle there.
No,
oh wait, no.
Immediately after that joke is when she leaves.
There's another clip. Hang on.
So you think I can see you again? What's up?
You want a what?
I want to see you again.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
God. Oh God.
You're such a nice man.
Walk
But
away, dude.
I'm going to
Just
say
walk
no
away.
thank you.
Listen, thank you for your honesty.
Or wait, that wasn't Mr. John. That was
wasn't
the no
Mr.
tip
John.
guy.
Yeah.
All right.
It's immediately after that.
Here's the finale of Mr. John, and we'll move on to the next episode after this.
Let me just,
now?
do you want to like bite into the salad?
Take a little bite first.
I think I'm good.
You don't want anything in your throat, right? I guess that's like a preparation, right? Before you're ready to sing, you have to have your throat cleared.
He's trolling.
I have a little bit of a headache, and I do have like an early morning meeting with a client. So thank you so much for like coming out and meeting me. I really appreciate it. It's been a very interesting evening. But I think I might skedoodle, if that's cool.
Finish your drink first, or have a piece of the salad or something.
I think I'm okay. I think I'm good. Thank you though for coming out. I really appreciate
Sure?
it. Yeah. My head hurts so bad. Have a good night though.
All right, take it.
I like your shirt.
Wow, that's
Probably
trying to keep that.
So he tested her out earlier with the "you like it big" joke that she clearly wasn't into.
No, that bombed. Yeah.
And then he's asking her to sing, and she takes a drink of water, and he's like, "Yeah, you don't like to get anything in your throat." And then he laughs at his own joke. And she just, she just in the middle of the date, she's got like her food in front of her that they've just ordered and a drink, and she's just like, "Yeah, I have a headache, so see ya." Which,
perfect.
Good. Yeah, that was excellent. We're running low on time, so let's get to the last episode, number 6. This is Mila.
Mila and I work at Valentino together. Mila's style is intergalactic.
Mila's style is intergalactic.
No one can understand it. She's a Klingon.
So this is completing the diversity of the thing. It's a black woman who is a lesbian. Is there any minorities that they didn't? There wasn't any trans people on this.
No, she is the hottest of all of them.
Yeah.
Out of the whole show, she's definitely got the hottest. She's physically the hottest, and I think she's got the best personality out of all of them.
Yeah, she was cool.
Yeah.
So here's an interaction that I'm sure enraged you.
A little bit.
What do you identify yourself as in terms of like femme, stud, STEM?
I love you know all the terms.
Androgynous.
I'd say I'm like a stud. I embrace my femininity, but I present very masculine.
I got you.
It makes me
Yeah.
feel more confident. Like if I'm too girly, I feel like awkward.
Yes.
No, that one. That's not the one that. I
meant just the identifying.
Yeah, I mean the pronouns is that the hilarious.
An interesting counterbalance to the previous episode. You can get away with making dirty jokes if you're not a complete garbage person. There is one here that's the same date.
Oh, the Asian man was like totally.
Oh yeah, and this one.
Should we get out of here?
Let's go.
Here, let me make sure you don't get wet. Not yet, anyway.
I'm gonna beat your ass.
Stop threatening me. We're on a date.
That's a good one. We're out in the rain. Make sure you don't get wet. Not yet, anyway.
What's she talking about?
Her vagina.
Oh, okay, all right. That's is that what happens?
They both have those things.
All right,
that's the whole point of the episode.
Oh, all right.
And
okay, I got it.
We've got one of the dumbest people on this whole series is one of the women on this, which again I feel like, oh, should I be so mad at this
No, she's
lesbian person of color? Like, no, it's just a dumb idiot person that happens to be those things. She's talking about her own tattoo. This isn't the
clip that I was thinking
Hindi
about.
tattoo. Yeah. I've got that one too. But this is a different interaction. Like, this woman that she's on the date with is just a moron.
I love tattoos in the sense that it's a permanent piece of art. I look at the body as like a canvas. I'm not attached to my body.
Your soul's in this vessel.
Right, but it's just, that's what it is. It's just a vessel, you know what I mean? So I want it to be a way that I can express myself and, express who I am. This one is actually my most recent one. I'm a Gemini. Geminis are ruled by Mercury, the planet Mercury, so...
Yes, know your houses. Okay.
Yeah,
You
so
should
this
drink
is
some
the sign
Mercury.
for Mercury, like the symbol.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to express myself in such a deep canvas. So here's my astrological symbol.
Yeah, man.
Because I'm such
It's science,
a deep
right?
person.
It's science, man. Don't you know?
I don't have the clip, but that same person, when they're talking about what they do for a living, she says that she's in fashion. This is also the worst dressed person on any of these dates. She's wearing a ratty t-shirt with like a crooked felt heart sewed to it and like Adidas track pants. And she's in the fashion industry.
It's poverty
somehow.
chic, man.
Which means I'm unemployed, and I sew.
You don't know that.
I sew felt patches onto my t-shirts.
You don't know that,
try
man.
to sell them.
You don't know Carhartt and Champion is back in fashion now, dude.
So here's Mila, I believe, talking about one of her own tattoos.
I have this quote on the back of my neck. Do you see it?
Yes, I see it.
Okay.
It's like Arabic.
It's
or something?
Hindu. Yeah, it's a Hindu monk mantra. And it says, Om Gam Ganapate Namaha.
Oh my God,
It means
man.
fighting off negativity, like warding off negativity and any obstacles and roadblocks in your future. Can you say that?
Wait.
Gam. Can you say it?
No.
Ganapate.
There's no way. There's no way I can say all of this.
This is cutting between multiple dates.
I feel like I'm like throwing a tomahawk.
Yeah.
No.
Throwing a tomahawk.
I feel like I'm saying some weird like cult shit right now.
Yeah.
You're not joining a cult. You're not signing your life away. Ganapate Namaha. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's a fun game. All 5 dates, I'm gonna have a game of let's practice saying this unpronounceable Hindu stuff.
It's not First of all, the person who is attempting to give them the education is wrong about the language that the thing is written in. It's Sanskrit, not Hindi. It's not. There's no such language as Hindu. It's Hindi.
Okay.
And it's not even Hindi. Hindi is derived from the root language, which is Sanskrit. It's the Latin. And if you want to know, it goes.
Is the saying at least
It's
tied
Om.
to Hinduism? Are they at least close on that? Is it part of the religion?
It's start of it.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's Om Ganpati Namaha. That's how it's pronounced. So even the person who has the damn tattoo, first of all, it's spelled wrong. So that's another hilarious thing.
Nice.
I mean, God love, man. God bless. Just wear all of the Hindi tattoos, wear all the Sanskrit tattoos, and get interested. If this is your way into another person's culture or land, go for it. I'm not one of those like people who have this thing. I just wish she would have just been honest with, you know what, I kind of don't know exactly how to pronounce it either, and it's kind of a mouthful, and it is kind of a mouthful, and all it means in Hindi is it's Jesus saves, right? Okay. Ganpat saves, right? Ganpat is the elephant god. Now, right, that's basically what it means, and it's hilarious. I mean, the fact that she's like, I'm going to teach you how to
5 times it cuts between all of the episodes. I just got a few other random clips. We got only like 5 minutes left in the show, so this one is called Fake Number. I don't remember what it is.
Yeah. I should get your number.
Yeah, no, you can.
I can?
Yeah.
I'm gonna whip my phone out now. If I text you, you're gonna text me back?
Nope.
Wow. I'm gonna hand you that so you can just put all the info in and I don't mess it up. And it better not be a fake number.
It's gonna be a fake number too.
Yeah, that one. That's the one that she ended up going with, the kind of more androgynous looking one. I thought they had a fun. That was the same one that made the wet
forth.
joke.
Yeah.
They seemed like they were having a good time, so I was happy that they got together. I've got this clip is called "Fuck Boy." I don't remember exactly what the context of this one.
I think she calls him.
I think is it the same one?
Yeah, she calls the guy. She says she looks like a fuck boy or something like that.
Oh, you throw parties, you must be like a fuck boy or like a party animal.
Are you a fuck boy?
No, it's an aesthetic. It's not a personality trait. It's just how I dress. This is just my nature.
Just a question, making sure.
Well, I get that a lot.
Okay.
She is the nicest of all six of them. She seems the nicest, most put together person. And I think it might have to do with the fact that she's not from New York. I think that's because she's like from down south, I think is what she says. And there's something sort of very, I don't know, quiet and kind of reserved about her that's not this sort of, Frankenstein of Instagram personalities that everyone else seems to have, Yeah,
and we can't forget the awkward brush off of the episode.
Yeah.
What do you think of the date? What do you think? What do you think of it? No. You can't answer my question with a question. I think it was nice. I enjoyed getting to know you as a person.
As opposed to what, if not a person?
No, like actually getting to know, because sometimes things like this is just like bullshit. It's so surface and it's not like in depth. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's just a waste of time. Like, just meet somebody, put it all on the table.
It's good. We're on the same page.
Not as awkward as previous episodes.
No.
As well, I don't know. These people weren't as phony.
I'm surprised that they don't share that many laughs. I was like genuine. I was looking for in all of the episodes. There's a few instances where you get that, but it's a lot of sort of awkward laughter. But most of this stuff seems like as though they're interviewing for something rather than having a conversation.
There's cameras that they need to pretend aren't there, so the whole thing has got an extra level of artificiality to it.
I think so. I mean,
we've only got like 1 minute. How would you sum up this series? Do you recommend people watch it, or do you think they're getting the gist of it from these deep dives?
I think that you should watch only the things that you are interested in and the things that give you joy. I figured that I can only explain the reasons that I watch it is because I'm curious about how people exist outside of the small bubble that I sort of find myself in. So if you are genuinely interested in that, then go for it. These people seem we might as well be watching The Fifth Element because they seem like I don't know what this is.
Well, this whole situation is strange to me because I've never dated in this sense. I've gone on dates with people who were already my girlfriend, but I haven't really gone out on a date for the purpose of like wooing somebody.
No.
So I don't know if this is what it's like. It was interesting.
I mean,
I'm sure there's probably a better way I could have spent 3 hours of my life, 5 hours, given these 2 episodes.
Possibly, but think of all of the joy and the laughter that we.
I could have been watching superheroes punch things.
Yeah, I suppose so. All
right.
What do you think?
I thought it was interesting. If you like what we've done here and you want to get more context, dive into it. I've got to wrap up though, where the show's going to cut off. So come see Arif and I. We're both at Uptown Comedy Deluxe this Friday, April 5th at O'Leary's. Chris Trotter is going to be on the show. Brian Godso's headlining. Arif Hussain, thanks for coming.
Oh, thank you, buddy. Thanks for having me.